rarely do we ever get to really talk to ourselves. But the poetry allows you to do that. Where do you really get to reflect? Where does the self say, and what is going on with the world? What is going on with you?
So Nick, we talked the other day about the manuscripts of Wordsworth, about what they told us, say through your eyes as a poet, what they told us about Wordsworth as a creative writer, as a poet. And you recognise many of the things in the manuscripts, the crossings out, the revisions, the new starts. So I've got one here to show you, which you've not seen before.
No.
But be very interested to know your take on this. So this is a little notebook that they used in Germany and in Grasmere. What's interesting, I think, to start with, isn't it, is perhaps you can see the many pages that have been removed. So in some instances, we simply have the stubs of the pages.
So did he transfer that to other notebooks?
That's probably what happened. I mean, there's a poet there. Would you say a poet at work in terms of that?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, what I like about it is he almost treats his notebook like a painting, like he's an oil painting that he puts stuff on, takes stuff off. And it's something I do similarly. I didn't realize, and maybe I should do it with more confidence, because when I do it, I'm always feeling like this: should I be ordered? Should I be neat? But I like his, I guess, playfulness and ambition.
But these lines, these horizontal rules, you find quite common in his notebook. It's as if he's writing a chunk, as it were, to come back and perhaps pick up later.
Yeah, I think sometimes when you're writing, you don't know what the end is or what the beginning is, but you know when a section crystallizes, but you might have more to say, but you don't know how to say it, and he's probably just blocking off so he can refer back to it. That's what it feels like to me.
And I think if we turn to the other end, again, so one part of the notebook, used in one part of the world, and then another.
I do that right upside down one way and then the other way. Oh gosh, it's the same.
Yeah?
Yeah.
But what he also does here is that he'll leave a gap. So there's a passage in fair copy, in neat hand, and then another passage in fair copy, and he's left a gap, hoping perhaps to fill in the joining section.
Yeah, because when the idea is fresh to me, I have to just get it down. And I actually like to use notebooks, even though I might, I try not to use the computer. I like to use the notebook. Yeah, I think the magic of a notebook is, because even sometimes I look back, like when I was writing Kingdom of Gravity, there were times I'll just put a title in a page. Or I put, just a bunch of thoughts. And I've never touched the notebook for a while, but just the writing of the title, it would keep fermenting in my mind. And then I'd write a poem, and then I'd come back and say, oh look, I wrote this title ages ago. I'd look at the book and go, where did this come from? But I think for him, one of the things I've learned is that the constant writing down does something. It's like an automatic recording device, and it's important to write. Typing is one thing, but actually the writing of something and then the reciting of something are part of the same continuum. The mind is always trying to reach out to you to connect. The subconscious mind and the conscious mind are trying to have a dialogue. They're not the same thing.
So the notebook's full of these fragments are moments of creativity, moments of thought that he's just capturing with a view that one day, perhaps with a little more thought, a little more imagination, as he would say, perhaps, use of his imagination, that they will then come to have a different meaning, greater meaning.
Yes, I think so. I just did a workshop today in a prison, and one of the things I got is that you have, because rarely do we ever get to really talk to ourselves. But the poetry allows you to do that. Where do you really get to reflect? Where does the self say, and what is going on with the world? What is going on with you? So I think this is an opportunity. Wordsworth is not just communing with himself, he's communing with his sister, with the nature around him. And he's asking these questions. And so what I use the poem for is this source of interrogation of the world. So that I pass through the world. But the way I pass through the world, I'm doing it on automatic. Oh, I've got to go there, I've got to go do this. But as the poet, I observe the world, or I experience the world, or I notice what the world means to me, or how it's moving me in a way that I don't often necessarily in my automatic always express. And I think that's what I grasp. An artist is also the life they're living. They're not just creating a art and then there's their life. What you get is the artist is also the life they're living. And the two marry very well for Wordsworth.